morning, UPBOptionMillionaires.com. It is March 19, 2015. It is a Thursday, and the Federal Reserve came out yesterday, took away the word patient, and the market did anything but be patient as they bought stocks, bonds, everything except the U.S. dollar and the volatility index. We saw the same thing when the Federal Reserve added the term patient. Stocks rallied. You getting the picture now? As you can see, we're pulling back just a little bit here. Overnight session, European markets open for trade. We had a nice little pullback. We're starting to recover. A consolidation now from this big spike to the upside. If we do indeed consolidate, this will be a beautiful flagging pattern. Bullish continuation because, of course, with stocks just about at record highs, the trend remains to the upside. Look at the U.S. dollar flash crash. So as the Federal Reserve came out, one thing I was concerned about yesterday was how they were going to talk down the U.S. dollar. So Federal Reserve came out, the U.S. dollar fell, and then it was so despondent at the end of the trading day. After the market closed, it crashed. But miraculously rebounded. A really familiar sight that we saw back in May of 2010. With the flash crash, plunge protection team comes in, and prices magically levitate back to where they were as if nothing ever happened. You did not see this decline. Gold futures are rallying up. With the Federal Reserve, after the Federal Reserve as well. Gold rallied, silver, those were all beaten down. Even crude oil. Crude oil is actually down again this morning. You can see the spike up. It's just been faded pretty much since the spike. And pretty much was down almost 3% at session lows just about. You can see the move it's had down this week to new multi 5+ year lows. So this could be just another, we'll pull back from a longer term chart perspective. Just another one of those bounces that gets sold off. You can see the bounce it had earlier this year when it hit its lows and just kind of ran out of gas. We're getting another bounce, and as long as it doesn't break, say about the $48, $49 level, it's going to roll back over again. Let's go in some individual names I like. Baidu looks like it's breaking out here. You remember back in the start of 2013, I was talking about this beautiful pattern here. It was going to make its way up to record high prices. Well, guess what? At the same time I was talking about that, Citigroup was talking about how bearish they were on the stock. They had, I don't know, $70 price target, said sell, sell, sell. That was when it was at $80. Hasn't really looked back since. So when you look at negative analyst sentiment, Wynn Resorts comes to mind, pulling back significantly. It's at support. So from a chart perspective, I don't know how that got there. It's like, from a chart perspective, you can look at support at about the 120 level, and I'm looking for a move back to almost 140. We'll see if we get that bounce. This is a very explosive stock historically, and I think we could see a nice relief rally. I am in the calls. The calls I bought 2 days ago, they are down currently, and I might move out to next week. We'll see if the market does not move here for Wynn Resorts, and then maybe it trades lower. I'll get some calls for next week because I do think a significant bounce is coming. You can also trade this bounce via Las Vegas Sands, which broke below key support levels recently, but mired in this range here. Hey, you know what? Anything's possible. Las Vegas Sands, Wynn Resorts can continue to fall. It's a distinct possibility. Any stock that's falling can continue to fall until said fall stops falling. That's wise, sage advice. Aaliyah, like the S&P 500. Same thing here, folks. Stocks will remain in motion until that motion is stopped. And right now, Federal Reserve and central banks around the globe don't want that motion to stop as they continue to print money and keep interest rates low and devalue their currencies. You can look at the S&P 500. You look at this chart. It does, to me, look like it's ready to spike up to new record highs. We can go to the NASDAQ, the QQQ. Same kind of thing here. We had support. We didn't have to come back down open. You can look. We're consolidating here. Look for a move to the upside. I was talking about IWM, which really has been leading the market of small caps. I was saying we get about a $6 or $7 of additional upside after hitting the 120 support. That would get us to 127 and a 130. And I think we're on course for that. Even biotech. Biotech's been on a complete tear, new record, all-time record highs. I don't know why that's there either. There we go. But this is something you don't want to stand in the way of via, shorting it or calling for a pullback because it hasn't been surfacing. It just keeps going and going. So let's look at Caterpillar. I got some Caterpillar calls 2 days ago in Option Millionaires private Twitter account. I tweeted, I got in at 47 cents, and it doesn't look like much here on the weekly chart. But if you pull in a little closer, get a little closer, don't be shy. Look at that move we had The stock actually started to move before the Federal Reserve came out. And then when the Fed came out and said, hey, we're going to take away the patient, baby. And it moved up from the 79 level to 81.25. That's a big move for a Dow Jones Industrial Average component. A dead machine company. I'm just saying. I played it for bouts. I said I was going to wait to 75 because if you pull up, looked at that chart that I just pulled up for the 5-year, 75 looked like support. But you know what? It's been down so big since the start of the year, actually into the middle of December. I just took a swing at the $79 calls, 47 cents. Those close at 230. Oh, baby. So it was a nice day for, look at that move up off its lows. Of course, it's starting to get a little overbought there, so we might see a little bit of a pullback on Caterpillar shares. I did, however, lock in my profits on Caterpillar. Tesla is one I did not lock in my profits on because it broke significant long-term trend line resistance yesterday over the 197.50 level. It is now over 200. I'm looking if we could bring this across. Bring this across. Here we go. Extend that. There we go. 207.50 in the short-term focus today. An analyst came out, talked very positively about the stock, saying it should be bought aggressively. You should be looking to buy Tesla aggressively. When you go to your broker, don't hit the buy button. Hit the buy aggressively button. It puts your order in 1/10 of a second earlier than everybody else because you're that aggressive. Anyway, that's the analyst today from Baird. Says, hey, if you're going to buy Tesla, buy it aggressively. That's the way, usually when I buy stock options, I'm a little passive. I say, hey, I don't really feel confident in this position, so let me buy it. Let me hit the passive button. That means you get bent over and everybody else gets the options before you. You hit the aggressive button, you get in early. So we look, this chart for Tesla, that's where, look, we break through this line. I talked about this the other day in my video. We're going to see significantly higher prices. But let's say we're in the calls now. I'm in the 200s. We're already in the money. I'm in the money. And looking for a move, again, 205 short term up to here. I think Tesla's got some sort of meeting or something going on today. It's a Thursday. And again, heavily shorted stock. I think the shorts are pretty much, it's pretty close to record high still in Tesla. And momentum is on its side, off the lows here, support at 187. Let's look at some other stocks. Twitter was getting absolutely monkey hammered yesterday until Janet Yellen and the Fed, a couple meetings ago, were talking down social media stocks. Yesterday didn't mention any stocks, which is good. You don't want the Federal Reserve saying anything about your stocks that you're in. You can see the move up off its lows. Look at that spike. I had some Twitter $47 calls that were about 30 cents here, and now 70-something cents here. This morning before the bell, let me look. It's about almost an hour, 2 hours before the trading session is going to start. We're 47 by 415, 47.15 for Twitter, so down a couple cents, but I'm looking for a continuation here, and I'm going to pull back, and I like it up to over $50. You can see we're flagging here. I'm flagging, and I'm looking for a move up to 50. Price line yesterday upgraded. Was it upgraded? Just positive analyst commentary. Either way, huge move up, 2.44%. It looks like this morning. I'm looking. Might get some continuation there. It was a very prescient call. Anyone buying the call contracts, as the name was down like a lot of stocks yesterday, heading into the Federal Reserve. And then look at the volume and the action. Bring on the action. Let's look at Apple, which was up as well yesterday. And look at this, the nut it had here. Tough nut to crack, long-term. No, I shouldn't say long-term, because we haven't been up at these prices very long. But you look at the resistance we're having. Resistance. We had a big move off the lows. I was talking about OTL, a theme 2015. And you can see it came right up to it. Bring on the action. And maybe we'll get a little bit of a pullback. But to me, this is a consolidation for a spike up to new record highs. Google at 550 level remains solid support here. We had a big spike. Again, another name that was down almost 1% yesterday before rallying. I'm looking, this is not going to stop until we get to about 590. And from there, I talked about this before the start of the week. I said, maybe I talked about it on Monday. I said, we're either getting higher, new all-time record highs now, which means within the next couple weeks, or we're going to get them later, which means we're going to head back down to the $500 level in the confines of this beautiful channel. A couple more stocks. FCX bounced yesterday with precious metals, but gosh almighty, it is broken. I've been talking about this one for a while. Broken record. try and bring up a long-term chart here, and for some reason it doesn't recognize it on the long-term time duration. All right, this video is getting a little long in the tooth. I will do a couple more, put it up at the blog at optionmillionaires.com. See you in the chat room. What a great day we had yesterday. Caterpillar, Tesla. Tesla looks to continue. We have Twitter. GoPro earlier in the week. GoPro, nobody wanted to buy those $40 calls at 55 cents earlier this week, and those went up some 300%. GoPro. All right, I'll see you in the chat room at optionmillionaires.com. I love the Wynn Resorts. Wynn Resorts is the one I'm in the calls that are down. I might be looking out to next week. Looking for the bouncy. Also with Tesla and Twitter and Caterpillar and GoPro. All right, UPB. I'll see you in the chat room, everyone. Have a great trading session. Goodbye.